Welcome to another episode of our Bussin Spring Tour. First, we have to shout out our presenting sponsor, the Chevy Silverado, specifically the EV, which I'm sure you'll probably get one day.
Yeah,
There,
there's an NIL deal out there for you.
yeah, there's like
hopefully.
there's like 1,900 electric chargers that are out there, and Chevy is doing their best to make sure everyone has an electric vehicle. And the Chevy Silverado is the pinnacle of EVs. EVs, everyone. Everywhere. Chevy.
For everyone.
Everywhere. There we go. Let's get into it. Mason Taylor, an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Glad to be here.
How do we open him up? I feel like he's a little,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it a little bit. Feel a little, you're going to your sophomore year, right?
Yeah,
How old?
18.
Wow, you're still 18. When's your birthday?
May 8th.
Nice, bro.
coming
So
up?
what's
Yeah, I'm
going
pretty
on?
young.
Any big plans for your birthday coming up? Fred's?
Dave and Buster's probably?
Probably Dave and Buster's, yeah.
And Busties.
Probably, honestly,
Jeez.
probably football, so we'll probably still be here.
Dude, talk about your first year. Like you were a true freshman. You know, we can talk about how you didn't get out of bounds right away in the Florida State game. We can also talk about the 2-point conversion against Bama to win the game. We can start wherever you want.
Yeah, the whole season was crazy. I mean, coming from high school, it's 100% different from how you prepare and then the games and basically the crowd. That was the biggest thing to me. I remember the first game going out there, I was like, what the hell is this? Just like going out and seeing 80,000 people just watching you. And that was, again, the first wake-up call to college was probably after that game. I've gotten so many hate comments and DMs after that. My phone was blowing up. I'm like, what is this? And I had a buddy, Garrett Nussmeyer, tell me in the shower, he was like, welcome to college football. Like, your phone's going to be ringing 24/7. So that was my big wake-up call, basically, like, welcome to college football. Bunch of people out there talking shit about you or whatever. But the whole season's been amazing. I mean, through the ups and downs, the bad games to your good games. I mean, like you said, the Bama game was insane. After that, it was even more fun. But the whole experience, the whole season's been awesome, and it's a great ride. And I'm looking forward to next year too.
Brother, it seems like there was a lot of ups and downs, but dealing with the haters of social media, everyone's got a voice now.
Yeah, I'm curious.
As young as you are, how did you, after that first game, and you said you're getting all this hate mail and all this different stuff, like, how did you handle that in your head at going further into your freshman year?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was like you kind of try to come up with excuses and stuff like that, but you kind of just gotta all your
Come up with
teammates.
excuses how?
Like, I would say, like, you kind of try to defend yourself, like, oh, it wasn't me, blah blah blah. But you kind of, half the people or more than half the people don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. So I think that's a big thing. Just
He's dialed.
yeah, and basically just looking at like your support, like your teammates and coaches, like, this is the only people we need and the only people we have. So, in your family. But other than that, I think after that first game, all the other hate that came after that, I kind of just brush it off your shoulders and keep playing. And then it happens moments like the Bama game. I had people telling me in my DMs, I'm sorry. And I would scroll up and it was like, F you, blah, 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 blah. And it's the same people that were saying F you week one. So yeah, I just let it brush off my shoulders now. I really don't mind it at all, but it's definitely been
You caught yourself in a little bit of a hole there, thinking like, you said the excuses, which everyone does.
Oh,
Especially
everybody
when someone
does.
like points something out, like, oh, like when I was playing, like, you give up the sack, and you'd be like, bro, that wasn't me. But like getting away from the keyboard is like, because you don't have to fight that battle.
Yeah.
Has got to be tough to do.
Yeah, definitely. The tough part is not trying to respond back, because you respond and then it just, so that, yeah, I've never responded to one of those. And
He did respond like once in a while though. Like sometimes you gotta let a fucker know, like, hey, listen, Bob. You need to
Trying to
talk
build
me
that
like this.
social brand, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Because it's something that's constant. Like, it's not, you handled it when you're 18, so it'll never happen again. Like, I was still fighting the same demons at 27 in the league, just thinking about, like, you know, because you take everything personal because you care so much.
Yeah, you care a lot, and people don't see how much you put into it.
exactly. And they
People
just,
just want to be keyboard warriors
yeah,
on you, and you're like, yo,
Yeah.
what the hell is
exactly.
going on?
Accounts that have one follower
Yeah, dude,
nothing
it's
on the
always
post.
them too.
and no profile pic. Like, they made it up
just
like
that damn
right
egg.
there
Yeah.
at that day. They made
What
it.
they matter the most for whatever reason.
Yeah, because
Like,
you'll
this
see
month.
like 9 comments that are like all positive, and then there's that 10th one.
Yeah.
That one's like, you suck, something basic.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
bro, do I?
That's what you touch that nerve a
Yeah,
little
it
bit.
does.
Yeah.
Working through that stuff, and it's only going to get worse, honestly. Like because you seem like you're from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, from what everyone was telling us about you, is that you started to do this.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot to look forward to, especially in your college career. Like, as you become more of a nationally recognized player, there's going to be more hate. Like some dude in Philadelphia is going to come for you. He doesn't even know you. He just saw one game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And decided like that's what it is. What are your expectations going into the sophomore year, ending the way your freshman year did? And also, you didn't even early enroll. Like you just showed up to campus and you're like, I'm just going to play for LSU immediately.
Yeah, it definitely took a lot of work to get back and really the playbook is the hardest thing. I mean, there's so many ins and outs, and you could know the plays, but you have to know the defenses and like what they do and stuff like that. So it was definitely a lot to handle. So going into this season, I think I definitely have high expectations, and I'm looking forward to that. I mean, that's why I came here, and that's what I'm going to do. But definitely have high expectations. But I think I'm going to have a great year and learn from my mistakes from last year and watch the film and get with the coaches and see how I can exceed and keep getting better, because I don't want to be, constant, just like an average player. You want to keep getting better and better until you retire, until your time's come.
What made you want to come to LSU?
See, that I honestly don't know. I mean, I had 20 something offers, but I would talk to Florida, Bama, and here, and I think it was kind of God, because at first Alabama was like brushing me off their shoulders. Like I would hear less and less from them. Same with Florida. I mean, Florida had a coaching change too, but I feel like it worked out perfect because every school like started talking to me less, except for LSU. So I think that was like the opening window. Like they actually care about me, so I'm gonna come here. But first, I wanted to stay in Florida because I'm from Fort Lauderdale, so I really liked UF. But they brushed me off their shoulders, and I think everything was pointing to LSU, and I was like, but can I do this? And then it was just pointing to LSU. So I think I just made the decision to come here.
So that Bama game felt sweet then.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
That kind of got brushed up. Then you get the
my
two-pointer.
dad-
Florida made a mistake too. That could have been a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Like in your backyard.
Right.
My dad is really good friends with Saban because he played for him at the Dolphins. So that was that. I think he might have gave him a call after that game. Saban gave my dad a call and talk shit or whatever. But it was
your dad wanting you to go to Bama or play for Saban, or how was your old man in this whole thing? Because obviously you come from a pedigree of Jason Taylor. I mean, Zach Thomas is in there too. Like, how pivotal was your dad in all of this recruiting?
I mean, he let me make the right decisions and make my decision, like what I want to do. But he definitely wanted me to go to a big program. But he loves LSU now. But he loved Bama, LSU. He loved the top schools. He loved the SEC. He didn't want me going to ACC or anywhere like that. He wanted me to go to big time football.
Slow it down a little
You didn't
bit.
look at the Big Ten?
There's some Big Ten.
Michigan offer you?
No, Michigan did not offer me.
What about Nebraska? Did Nebraska have a shot?
They didn't offer me either. But no, my mind was focused on the SEC too at that point.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
You got these
Was your
boys
dad bummed you
brainwashed
didn't go
out
to
here in the
Bama?
South.
Bum, no. I think he was happy with my decision.
Yeah.
When you left Florida, came to Louisiana, like, what was it like acclimating to this kind of culture? Because it's a very unique culture.
Yeah.
There's a lot of French influence. Everyone here just rides with LSU always. It's got to be fun. But like, was there a difference for you between Florida and Louisiana?
Not much except the food. I mean, the first couple weeks I got here, I gained maybe 15 pounds.
Fast.
Yeah.
Freshman 15
Fast.
quick.
Yeah, exactly. So other than that, the food, I mean, the culture is different. Yeah, the football here is like so important, and you see fans everywhere at the airport screaming, or like I've been screamed at the airport, Mason Taylor, like all that stuff. So the fans are definitely crazy, but they're kind of, I want to say this in the nicest way. I would say bipolar. I mean, they kind of hate you one week, love you. Hate you one week, love you the next. So I mean, it's definitely great, but at the same time, it sucks kind of. But they're great fans. I mean, every Saturday they're in there packing it out, screaming at the top of their lungs. So it's definitely a different culture, but I love it.
It's like the Eagles vibe, the Philadelphia Eagles vibe.
Yeah, Louisiana does have that
like,
Philly vibe.
They love it so much.
Yeah.
So if you lose or whatever, it literally ruins.
They're
their
really
week.
packed.
All of them have a clock,
Yeah.
dude. When football season ends, it's like, fuck, dude, there's this many days till next football
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. Mhm.
They're that excited about it.
Yeah. What should we hit with them next?
Whatever you want.
What was the laugh?
I was just laughing at you.
What was I doing? My thinking face?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think of where can you go with this. Like, do we ask him more about his old man? I mean, your dad was a legend. What was it like growing up under his roof? Did it suck at times? Was it like, yo, I want to carve my own lane? Talk about growing up in that house.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say like let him build his own path or whatever. But I don't like when people say, "Oh, Jason Taylor's son." I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, my dad did what he did in the league. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to create my own path too, but I don't mind when people say, "Oh, he's Jason Taylor's son." Some people get mad and they're like, "Oh, let him have his own path. Stop mentioning his dad, his uncle, blah blah blah." Like, I think that's cool, to be honest, with them both playing football and being so good at what they're at. So, but other than that, yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. I feel like at a young age, I really didn't think of it like that. Like, yeah, I was like, my dad plays football, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't think he was like that good until I grew up and saw like what he did and actually has accomplished. So,
how old were you when you started figuring out like he was a savage, and your uncle, like Zach Thomas,
maybe my
absolute savage.
teens, I'd say.
Yeah.
11, 12, 13, when you start getting the phone and stuff like that. But for sure.
Yeah, people come over to your house and they're like, "Holy shit, dude. Did you know?" Dad?
Yo, you know your dad wreck dudes, right?
Yeah, dude. When you look towards the future, NFL, who'd you grow up as a fan of? The Dolphins?
Yeah, you could say. I mean, I'm not really a fan of any NFL team. I don't watch the NFL. I think college is way more interesting to watch. But I would say, yeah, the Dolphins, because my dad and uncle played for there. But what are you trying to say? Like, if I were to go anywhere?
When you're looking, if you're thinking like, oh, the future, this is where I would want to play.
I would want to go to Miami.
You'd want to go to Miami?
Yeah, not just because my dad was there, but just the area. I mean, I don't want to live in just
Buffalo?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somewhere freezing
Buffalo
cold. Yeah. But Miami, because living there and it's really nice and stuff like that. I want to live where I grew up.
Who do you watch in the league and want to mold your game after? Like, who are tight ends you watch week in and week out?
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce. George Kittle's another good one.
Good boy.
Andrews from Baltimore. But yeah, mainly Travis Kelce, because I mean, blocking all around, George Kittle is amazing, but I think Travis Kelce's route running opens up so many things Kansas City could do for them. So definitely watching him and just his routes and stuff like that. He just knows how to get open. I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, he just knows where people are going to be and just goes in between them and stuff like that. It's kind of, if you really watch it, it's really like nice to see. But that's why I watch him probably the most out of everyone.
When you think about your personal development going from year 1 to year 2, what are the major things that you think you should focus on to become a better all-around player?
Definitely get stronger. You know, being 18 years old in the SEC is kind of hard, putting your nose in there with all those defensive ends that are 6'6", 270 and stuff like that. So definitely get stronger, faster, definitely better blocking, catching too. I mean, just like almost like everything. Just
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit.
Where do you feel like you lack most?
Probably pass protection, because us as tight ends, we block a lot in this program. So if that's an inside zone, outside zone, and we'll probably pass pro maybe 10 times a game.
Yeah.
And we'll probably run block maybe 30, 40, 35 times maybe. Half the plays we're probably running. So definitely, yeah, blocking. But I think pass pro I definitely need to work on.
There's got to be a crazy level of anxiety you get when a play action pass is called on the back end, because you're going against their pass rusher.
Yeah.
And you're usually by yourself because the other offensive linemen are in combination.
Yeah.
That's got to be...
Yeah, no, definitely. And definitely when we're in a boundary or something like that and we're going against their pass rusher, and you're putting me on their pass rusher, it's like...
And it's a crazy concept, too.
Put our All-American Will Campbell on him. Put Emory Jones on him. Why do I have to fucking block him?
One-on-one.
Implement stuff in those calls where if, like, let's say the tackle and the guard are in combination, once they knows that their backer's not coming, do they tell them to look out to help you?
Yeah, there's some plays like that.
Yeah, because you need that. And if I were you, if I was in your situation... What's that? That's what I was going to say. I would sit there and be like, brother, if that backer doesn't come, you get
Hey, Will.
Right away.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Because it's like, you can be a great pass blocker as a tight end, but at the end of the day, like, you weigh as much as the other individual, and he is trained. You're more so trained to, right? You want to get in front of the guy and die a slow death. He's trying to get to the quarterback, and you want to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So it's like a way harder process. Like, when you go through that, it's just like, hey, just don't get beat inside.
Yeah, but I try not to jump at them too much.
Yeah,
I try
do not do that.
Yeah, because if they and go right to the quarterback, that's on me. So I try not to jump at them. I kind of try to just stay patient. Main thing is I put my hands outside a lot, and I bet you any defense knows that. Watch their tape. I put my hands outside, so that's another thing I got to work on. just putting my hands inside. But yeah, other than that, pass protection, I definitely need to work on.
What's the level of stress in pass protection when the guy's inside you or in the, like head up on you or outside you? When are you like, man?
Outside.
Outside,
you're by yourself. If he's inside, you can wash him into the tackle.
Yeah, hopefully put him into the legs or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Trip
dude.
him up. If he's outside of me, then I'm like, shit.
You try to get that shitty pass set in.
you-
Like, let
yeah.
me see what those boys been doing
You
over
get
there.
width, and he's got inside, outside, through you to
Yes.
go through. So
Do you ever think about living and dying by the sword of like, hey, this is a play action, so I'm gonna run at this guy and make him hopefully he thinks it's a run?
run, no.
Or a lot of guys in the SEC are playing pass first.
I think they'll play pass first a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
If they're playing pass first, you
Yeah.
gotta, and you also gotta understand the sticks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
2nd and 10, if to get back on track
Yeah.
play, you need to get your ass out of that set.
Exactly.
What game are you looking forward to most this year?
Florida State, 100%. The way we lost last year is brutal, and I think we have a lot to prove this year. I mean, it was our first time when we played them last year. It was our first time all together, new staff, a bunch of new players. So definitely Florida State, 100%. We got to get our lick back for sure.
Yeah.
Growing up, because a lot of guys here are talking about how you, from a situational standpoint, like you understand the game, and you're in that 2-minute drive at the end of the game. Were you thinking I got to get out of bounds right now?
100%.
And how much does Coach Kelly preach like situational football? 4-minute, 2-minute.
Yeah, 4 minute. All these situations we do in practice. I mean, like yesterday or Tuesday, we had 4 periods of 2-minute. Like, and our coaches in meetings spend 15 minutes talking about it. About if you get the first down, clock stops. If we have so many different calls and signals for like if we need to get the first down and take a knee, like and get down on the ground, we need to save time. They go through everything, so it's definitely really important. I think that's just one of those things that you're in that moment and the ball's coming your way, and you know, like, yeah, I need to catch this ball, but I need to get my ass out of bounds. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was definitely what was going through my head right there. Is like, catch the ball. If you could score, but don't be like trying to be a hero and get tackled on the one. We don't have any timeouts and the game's over. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, my ass was headed right to that pylon. If I can get it, if it clears up, I'm gonna go dive for it. But if not, I'm jumping out of bounds. And then I saw there's a couple dudes by the pylon, and I'm like, yeah, let me get my ass out of bounds. And I'm just sprinting over there and just dove. One dude tried to swipe my feet on the way over there, and I jumped over him. And you see on the replay my ankle, like I fucked up my ankle really bad when I did that, and I landed like this, and that's why I was stumbling, and that's when I dove out of bounds. Because I twisted my ankle really bad. But
And they said your knee was still in bounds, or was your elbow?
I think it was my knee.
Yeah.
I think my knee
If
was.
that would have been alive, like if they would have called it
Since it
his
was a-
knee in
game's
there,
over.
the game would have been over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since it was a first down though, the clock stopped and we got another play. If they called it right there down, then they would have spotted the ball would have been over.
In those situational situations, what are you telling yourself going to the line? Like if you're in a 2-minute situation, there's like 10 seconds left and you have to get a field goal. Like for guys that are watching this, looking up to you already, like what are the things you tell yourself in your mind?
Just
going into
stick
the
to what
play.
you're taught. I mean, yeah, like you said, 10 seconds left. If you get the ball, get out of bounds. If you catch the ball in bounds and you get a certain amount of yards, if you get the first down, get down. If you get a certain amount of yards and you get tackled, run the ball to the ref, and there'll be a mayday call and the field goal team will start running on. So you really just gotta really think, and you gotta be smart in those situations so you don't screw over your team. But it's definitely a lot of pressure. But once we rep it up in practice almost every day, and I think you just stick to the fundamentals and what you're coached, and you'll be prepared for those moments. So. That's awesome.
And making sure your teammates are, sometimes you're getting late in the game too. Everybody's just exhausted and everybody's just yelling.
Yeah,
at
you
each
got to
other,
keep your
remind each
teammates
other.
accountable.
Like, no,
too,
don't toss the ball to him, run the ball to him.
You see the refs out there.
Yes,
looking
bro.
bad body ballers. Like,
Yeah,
you can't be
bad
throwing them the
body
ball.
ballers, yes.
Yeah, zero hand eye.
Run it to them. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of situations.
Yeah,
like
what a tough way to go out too in that Florida State game.
Yeah.
That we keep bringing that up, but the field goal at the end, that's tough.
If the kicker just made the field goal, it'd been fine.
This was solid.
Yeah, man, we really
I think
appreciate you
LSU's got a
coming
lot to look forward to. You being on the squad as long as you stay healthy.
Yep.
And I'm sure your old man will watch this. Hey, brother, big fan. We would love to have you on the bus one day as well. Just want to get that. And Zach Thomas, white linebacker.
I'll hit them up. I'll hit them up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, though, bro. This was awesome.
we appreciate you.
Yep, for sure.
Big hugs, tiny kisses, subscribe, like, rate, all the fun stuff.